just gonna go change real quick. Excuse me. Oh, okay. It just started to get too hot. I thought I was gonna wear this the whole time. But I'm not. Hey internet, it's Sarah. If you were here for the earlier video, when I was wondering whether I would be able to fall back asleep instead of getting up and eating and doing other stuff like that, and that's what happened. I did fall back asleep. And I woke up about an hour before the alarm. The alarm was 11:55. I woke up like right at 11 or 5 after or something. And I thought, well, I've got time to get up and shower. And then do the AMA. So here I am. I didn't advertise this at all. I don't expect very many people to show up. I hope people will show up. That would be nice. But I don't expect anyone to because of how little work I did to promote this. But it is a weekly thing. And so I kind of figured it'd be alright if this one was brief and there wasn't really anybody here. But maybe I should do some sort of introductory thing for the future, for future reference. So this is seranine.com. This is my public figure page. It's just a Facebook page. And my name is Seranine, Seranine Elliott. And I'm a transgender woman. This means I was designated male at birth, and that was a mistake. And I knew it back then, and then I said something about it and was told that I couldn't do that anymore, but very violently. And so I forgot, basically, for most of my life that I was a girl. I'm also autistic, and that's also always been true, and only recently diagnosed. I'm a childhood sex abuse survivor. I remembered that just last summer, a little bit less than a year ago, I think. I'm pretty sure it was June or July. I don't remember for sure. There's a post about it, though, because what I do on this public figure page is just share my life as completely as I can. That means live streaming, like, at every opportunity, even when I'm doing mundane stuff, like just washing my dishes or anything like that. And just letting people see what my actual life is like. Even the stuff like the med use, the weed, this I'm pointing to, it's out of frame. This whole dab rig, oil rig thing, and how to operate it, and how I use it, and how often I use it, and how much, and what for, and all of that kind of stuff. Just letting people see what my actual life is like, instead of having only other people's ideas of what someone like me must be. So, like, what their idea of someone who's autistic must be is probably pretty far from a lot of what I am. And there'll be other parts that'll be right on, right? Same thing about being the kind of girl that I am, and, like, what does that feel like or look like or mean? Being able to just talk about that and my experience, like, going through HRT and all of that. That's really more than anything the point of these videos, and why I mean, this is, like I said, this is available on every video that I have. They're all kind of implicitly AMAs, because they're just windows into my life and whatever's happening. And it's like, the model is supposed to be like, I've invited you to just come hang out with me for a little bit, and we can talk about whatever, right? So it really is an AMA. You can, last time somebody asked me, Kirk or Picard, right? So it doesn't have to be like, tell me about this surgery or something like that, It can just be whatever. It can be about my cats. So, what is the big news lately? I've actually talked about this in the last couple of videos, I think, the thing about getting the Trans Pride headlining spot. that I sort of like shoved my way into and insisted upon. That's part of the reason that's such a big story. I guess I'll just talk about that since I don't have anybody hanging out yet. I kind of want to sit down, but I want to like sit up, you know? I don't want to lower the desk. Why don't I want to lower the desk? I don't want to lower the desk because I don't want to raise it again later. That's kind of a silly reason to not lower the desk, I suppose. It's a bit more of an operation to lower it now than it used to be. Here, I'll show you what I do to lower the desk every time. Now, so the way that it's supposed to work is you just use these buttons, right? These, to get just the right angle so you can see them. And raise or lower it, and you just hold it until it's done, right? But somewhere between that and this control box, one of those things is not working. And I have replacements, but I'd really like a second body here to help flip this desk over because it's really heavy. So here's the way that it works now for me to get this desk to lower. While it's all plugged in and set up, I can't even see if I'm showing the right angle of it. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So this is a reset thing. So you press and hold both of the buttons together for 5 to 10 seconds. And then, while it's plugged in with power here, unplug the switch. And it will automatically lower all the way back down and then part way back up. But I don't want it to go part way back up right now, so I wait until it gets down to the bottom here, and then pull the plug. And that is why I'm like, I don't want to lower the desk. Because raising the desk is a funny little inversion of that process. And I have to... No, raising the desk is just plugging them both back in and then letting it go. And then it goes all the way back up on its own. So raising it's not actually that big a deal. Except I gotta climb back under here. Right? But I want to share some of these posts about this stuff in a little bit. Let's go. Make this out of the way too. Just the to me like incredibly improbable, unlikely series of events that results in my being the only local headliner at Trans Pride this year. I know I keep saying that over and over. It sounds like I think it's a big deal and stuff like that. And like I mean, I guess it kind of is, but I'm not like. To me, the win is not I'm a headliner at this thing. It's that they weren't making it a point in their process to pick at least one local headliner until I pointed it out. So this will be the first year that they intentionally look for a local headliner, at least one. And they start with me, the one who brought it up, right? Like, that's just really... And I'm only in that position of having these conversations with them because I had posted a thing about being too scared to go to Trans Pride and feeling angry about that. But the reason I felt too scared to go is because I knew that Kim, the woman who raped me, will be there because she's very performative. You know, she's very like, hey, I'm big on trans rights and I love helping trans people, but that's a big part of why she can't acknowledge, you know, or look at her behavior deeply enough to understand what she did to me. I don't think she knows. I don't think that she perceives it or concludes that what she did was anywhere near as awful as what it actually was. But, you know, thorough examination and being really deliberate and doing a lot of mindfulness practice and loving kindness practice had me strip away everything that wasn't true about it and get down to just the mechanics of it and be like, that was the feeling that I had so many times with her, this sense of confusion, which I look back on now and understand was a desire to say no or express discomfort in some way. And not understanding why I couldn't. It was like that button was just gone, you know? And like it was here. I used to, and I don't even remember what it was, but if I came here, there was something I could do, and it would be okay. But it was gone, you know? So I posted my article about that on March 1st. Hey Google, what's today?
It is Sunday, the 27th of May 2018.
So yesterday is the 26th. And it's not even 90 days, right? March, April, May. Yeah, not quite 90 days to go from I can't go to Trans Pride, I don't feel safe going, and I'm upset about that, to not only are you welcome back and we'll make sure your abuser is not welcome, not only are you invited to come perform, but we'll add you as our third headliner. Like, I'll be on posters all over the city. My name will be, you know. It is just such a wild ride. So I'm really hungry, and no one has shown up yet for the AMA, and that is perfectly alright. I'll leave it here as a part of the collection for people just to have a quick little I babbled and then I played guitar, which is itself not really too different from what I do on this page in general. So I'm gonna put on something a little bit more covering because I'm gonna be out in the sun briefly, but I'm gonna walk down the street to the corner store and get myself some eggs and come back and make some breakfast and then kind of rearrange my little to-do list from there. But I feel reasonably well rested. I slept for a few more hours after getting about 6 hours, I think. Got about 6 hours and then woke up for a couple and then got about 3 more. So, first decent rest that I've really had in a little bit. And I've definitely needed it. I do feel more relaxed overall too. Like, my shoulders were a bit tense, but it's clear that I did the massage work yesterday and that it helped. But I feel like after I get some food in me, that I'll probably have the energy, and it's nice and bright and sunny out, to do a lot of the kind of cleaning stuff that I've just not quite been able to get up enough ahead of steam to do, like getting the laundry done. Yeah, you know what? In fact, even in that sort of mode, how long have I even been at this? Yeah, not even quite 20 minutes. Even in that sort of vein, that's the word I'm looking for. I think I'm gonna go wash the dishes really quick. In fact, here, that'll be, since no one's asking questions, that'll be another little quick demo sample of sort of typical things that happen here on the page. Is this thing done? Okay, I'm gonna raise the desk again because I'm not gonna sit here anymore. And when it's higher up, I feel less worried about the cats jumping on it. And I feel like I can probably leave the rig in cleaning mode, which means it's very hot. The coil is anyway. I'm washing the dishes before I go so that they will be able to dry by the time I get back. And the kitchen will be more inviting to use. That's the hope, anyway. I've got my prune juice all chilled too. I need the prune juice again. This is better. I was too sped up. You know what? I need to remember that I keep forgetting over and over. Is that I can't necessarily wind myself down in just one day. That sometimes I need several days of really intentionally slowing down to get to a place where I feel actually slowed down and not like, oh, I've got stuff I've got to do, I've got to hurry, there's stuff to do, right? So like there's stuff I have to do, right? And then I want to do, and I'm going to choose to do, and I'm going to go do in a few minutes here. In fact, I can, since there's no reflections here, I can kind of even partially get dressed out of frame. Turn this thing off and let it cool so that by the time I get back I can clean it. This is a good undertop. I'm gonna wear trash pants. I like these. These are little capris that I found in the free cycle area. They're not like capris, but they're cut shorter. I call them trash pants because I found them in the free cycle area. They're nice, I just call them trash pants. Alright, I've got to do laundry today. I'm down to my last pair of underwear after this one. Today's underwear is The Little Mermaid. This is how I know I'm down to the last of it, because most of my underwear is not like this. Most of my underwear is this plain, just boy shorts from Aerie. I was so upset when I found out that the kind of underwear that fits me best, because it's the only ones that have a really wide cotton gusset. Doesn't have to be cotton, I guess, but all the ones I get are cotton. I called boy shorts. I was like, you gotta be fucking me. I finally find underwear that's comfortable for me and my kind, and it fits and everything, and it's called fucking boy shorts. Come on. So there was that. Oh, I'm out of water now because I set it aside. Grab one of the chilled bottles that was in there, filled up from before. I cycle a bunch of these through the fridge because these are about half a liter, and it's a great way to keep myself encouraged to drink a lot of water throughout the day. And I can also, if I feel like tracking it, just note how many of these I've had and hit my target of 3 liters. Other clothing stuff here. I've got my my yoga slings. These things here. These are super comfortable. This is the bottom of them is yoga mat material. So if you practice yoga, this is a really great way to get in touch with just some of the what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, sense memory kind of aspects of a yoga practice, because you are actually just standing on yoga mats anywhere. So anytime you come to a stop, you know, you can just sort of stand there for a minute or go and do a mountain pose or something and just kind of connect with that sense of being on a yoga mat really easily everywhere all the time, because you actually literally are. And that's really cool, I think. Put something on. I want to embrace the trash. I want to embrace the I'm just covered in whatever today look. Is the one for me? This might be the one for me today. This might be the piece that expresses that most completely. Because it's like kind of the same dull sort of. Oh yeah. This high fashion. This looks terrible. This is completely wrong. I can't go that bad with it. Alright, here. about Scullo? We'll try Scullo. There we go. Maybe this will be better. Certainly the fabric is more of a fit. Alright, the black is nice. It's playing off of the black. I don't know why I didn't think of that before. It's got skull thing on the back. That's cute, right? So, oh good, my underwear is showing. That'll get me the kind of attention that I'm after. So I walked down to the corner store for some eggs. I think that's it. And then a return trip. You know, I might get myself some chocolate or something. I know it's kind of silly, but... Well, there's today's look. So this is the preview of it. I'm going to close this up and get my outfit picture with my little tripod. I guess I can do this and sort of show you what I'm doing over here too. This is the picture area. Just set up the tripod. I flip the plate this way so the screen is facing the mirror, and that's what I look at to see whether I'm in position. And I set it about there. And that's it. So, thanks for hanging out. And actually, nobody hung out. A couple of people popped in for a second here, but nobody asked any questions. But like I said, that's fine here. Oh, look, you can see the skull in the reflection. I'm going to keep doing these weekly, and I also want to point out that every video, like I said, on my page, when I'm actually live streaming, you're generally invited to ask me whatever it is. The model is that you're just here hanging out with me. So you've come over to my apartment, I'm washing dishes quick, I'm going to get ready to go, and we're just hanging out. So I get that the pace of conversation is a little bit wonky, and I'm like info dumping, and people are just asking me little quick things or commenting really briefly, but I'll leave you with this thought. That's one of the things that helps me with my autism, because out in the world in general, I have one of the difficulties with my particular flavor of autism is communication. And it's because of this long form that I take, where I can generally either listen really well or orate really well. And I have trouble kind of like switching gears at the sort of pace of conversation that most people seem to want. And because I get punished for talking for a long time, in person a lot, in person what I end up doing usually is being a lot quieter. Or being on stage and talking. Do you know what I mean? Or singing or performing something. So having like this kind of outlet or interface or something, even if people aren't watching, permits me the practice of communicating, like expressing in a way that feels natural to me, that is kind of long form, like more of a presenter kind of thing. And that makes it easier for me to practice even better at listening the other times and feel a lot less like I'm never heard, because I am heard. I've got like a huge audience here. Ordinarily, anywhere from like 2 to 5 people just watching the stream at all hours, So that's one of the ways that it helps me as someone who's autistic. So thanks for hanging out, thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you next week. Bye, be safe.